We'll get right into it, guys. Is that Mount Doom?
An evil, ancient and powerful, has returned.
Prepare yourselves.
He worms his way inside your mind. The crest of him slithers in.
I think he has been here. I think he's been here among us all along.
Okay.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril.
He's so long.
That's cool. So, yeah, anyway, I think they're trying to lean pretty heavy on, like, the Lord of the Rings symbolism and, like, the relation to it, right? It's like this scene is from, like, Lord of the Rings. This is from, like, very reminiscent of, like, Mines of Moria. This is a new one. These are new, to be fair. Let's see, where's some of the other ones? This one's the same as the Bridge of Khazad-dûm and the first one. Let's see here. Then this is the same. This is the same. And so it's like, yeah, I feel like it's a bit too many member berries. And I feel like, am I correct? Like, I mean, like, I've watched Lord of the, how many times I've seen this fucking movie? I know every goddamn scene in the movie. So, yeah, like, they did a lot of these. I will admit, I do think that this part was cool. Like, this definitely was cool, but, like, none of this really felt like Lord of the Rings to me. Maybe I'm gonna be, like, an asshole for this, but, like, I don't feel like, this doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings. Like, the only scene that felt like Lord of the Rings to me was this one. This one felt like Lord of the Rings. Maybe this one too. But, like, other than that, this just seems like generic fantasy adventure. 3.5. Did they get rid of the hobbits? I hope so. I want to see Ungoliant, the giant spider. I want to see the army of Balrogs. You can't see that. The beginning of Rings of Power started with what happened with Ungoliant. Like, that was, like, literally the opening, like, sequence was the trees of Valinor losing their power when Ungoliant siphoned their power with Morgoth. So, like, you're probably not going to see that. Now, obviously, like, what is the only scene that, like, I would love... Because I think that one thing that Rings of Power does do pretty well is they have really good... like, visuals. Like, some of the visuals are really, really cool. And I would think it would be very cool if they could have the Fingolfin fighting Morgoth, right? Now, I don't know how you could make this make sense. Just make it a flashback. I don't really care. Just do it. And so that would be really cool. Other than that, I really have no excitement for this. I might watch it. I wish they showed Anna Callaghan. Well, I don't think they're really going to show... Like, that would be really fucking cool if they showed that. But I think that they would have to do that as, like, again, a flashback or something like that. They can't? They don't have rights to the Silmarillion? Yeah, I heard about that. I don't really know, like, what the details are and how to understand that in the right way. Just got here, 144 4K downvotes. Yeah, how many downvotes are there? Somebody says there's 144K downvotes. That's a lot, man. Watch behind the scenes. Yeah, I'll watch the other video too. Okay, let's... There's another one. All right, let's watch this before we look at the rest of them. Here we go. A look inside season 2.
This season, Galadriel's being driven more by a bigger purpose. And I feel she's once again becoming connected with Middle-earth and with all the people in it. That's making her quest more important, since Sauron is building his strength.
Here we are in Mordor. One of the exciting things about this year is we're going to get to see Sauron out in the open, making everything happen. We'll be able to watch it all unfold.
With Durin, his relationship with his father has...
I do think that the Durin Elrond relationship in Rings of Power was unironically pretty good. I think it was pretty good. I liked it. It was best part of the show. Yeah, it was all right.
And his pride has taken a massive hit.
The darkness did reach him. He's received the biggest blow to his spirit thus far.
It gets a little darker. The chessboard's been set, and I'm seeing the chess pieces move.
The second season, it really feels like the gloves come off.
Brace yourself.
Set a watch at every crossing. He must not escape.
I've had an unexpected visitor.
Who'd have thought a ring could have so much power?
You should name a show after it. The Power of Rings. Or what about Rings of
Rings
Power?
of Power.
And it's just really exciting to finally be back. I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Oh, there's the hobbits.
Here we are in new territory, new places to visit.
I mean, the set is almost too scary to go into. Kid, don't look.
The detail that the craftsmen put in there is incredible. You absolutely lost when you're here.
How the fuck did they think they're gonna stop Sauron, by the way? You know Sauron's like a literal fallen angel? He's like a... He's not even from Middle-earth. He's like a god. It's like a demigod. Like, how the fuck does a elf think they're gonna fucking square up? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, yeah, it's Maiar spirit, yeah. The same as Gandalf. Yeah, what are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here.
When you're in costume on the set, you're going to discover even more wonderful things to do.
We kind of touched on it and teased on it in season 1. This time you will see us in all our glory.
There's things that we're doing that are completely new, and you do sort of get plunged straight into the story.
It's been a long way. Some bad things might have happened. Some good things may have happened. And there's a lot of danger, a lot of excitement. But we're back in Middle-earth.
Will you fight?
Great. That's nice. Well, you know, it is what it is. All right. Yeah. Could you watch Lord of the Rings old trailer? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's watch the Lord of the Rings trailer.
The eye of the enemy is moving. The end has come. Every day, Frodo moves closer to Mordor. How do we know Frodo is alive? What does your heart tell you?
Come, Master. Come to Smeagol.
This is your test. Every path you have trod through wilderness, through war.
I want a remake now? No, you don't. Stop it.
To this road.
No, you don't. We don't need a remake. It's already good.
Come to the throne of Gondor.
It is time. Give him the sword.
Oh, I have that sword. It's over there. I would go get it, but it's too far away. My mom bought it for me.
He means to murder us! I'm not sending him away.
Come to me.
center. The pieces are moving.
He is here.
This is so good, bro. Like, man.
We come to it at last.
Man.
I see in your eyes the same fear that would take the heart of me. A day may come when the courage of men fails.
I can't believe this shit was over 20 years ago.
And break all bonds of fellowship, but it is not this day.
I can't believe that shit.
Stay with me.
This day, we fight!
Man. Pure awesomeness, it is. It was amazing.
The time that is given to you.
We shall see the Shire again.
You gave away your life's grace. I cannot protect you anymore.
Cannot achieve victory through strength of arms.
Not for us.
The Horadrim.
But we can give Frodo a chance.
And you gotta remember, like, whenever this came out, this was like after the first two movies were like the biggest thing in the whole world. And I remember I saw it on the 25th. Man, I remember this shit so well. 2004, it was 2003. Yeah. Best movies of all time? I think so, right? I do. And, like, I think that there's just, like, an obvious... I think that one thing that Lord of the Rings captured extremely well is, like, there's a certain amount of, like, virtue that Lord of the Rings has that I think that was... And I think that type of virtue is paramount to the Tolkien experience. It is, like, fundamental. I don't think that Rings of Power has that. I don't even think that it knows what that is. And so when it's clear, yeah, clear-cut good versus evil. Yeah, exactly. And justice, honesty, and love. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I feel like that's a huge problem, man. Rings of Power is pretty bad. Not even good background movie. I mean, I watched a bit of it, and, like, it was okay. I mean, it's not like it was the worst show I've ever seen. It just, like... It wasn't good. It was just like, okay, here's a show. There it is. You see it? There it is. That's a TV show. And there's like elves and there's dwarves. It's like basically they decided to go down a checkbox. It's generic. Yeah, it's generic. And so like what makes it special? Basically nothing, right? So Rings of Power are too superficial. I didn't notice any depth. Yeah, and I just, you know, it's just really not the same, man. I'm sorry to say, it's just not the fucking same. It's not, oh man. You know, what Rings of Power thumbnail guy? Yeah. Rings of Power is fan fiction with unlimited money? Yeah, that's basically where we're at. It's because Tolkien was writing from an internal moral compass and Rings of Power was just trying to be politically correct. The two things are not the same. I think that the internal moral compass thing is completely accurate. Is Rings of Power being politically correct? I mean, yeah, to an extent, right? I mean, this is like a Western medieval fantasy. You know, realistically, there's probably only going to be white people in something like that, like it was in Lord of the Rings, but they didn't do that. I don't think that the show isn't bad because there's a black dwarf, okay? Like, I'm going to be honest, guys. That's really not the reason why people didn't like the show. That's just like another, like, the problem is that, like, a lot of times whenever there's diversity in a show where, like, there wasn't originally, it indicates that the people that are making the show don't really care that much about the source material because they're willing to go against it. So I don't really think that's the problem. Lord of the Rings understood real masculinity. These pussies today can never make something like that. Exactly, yeah. It's like, I would say Aragorn is like the pinnacle of masculinity. And, you know, not some, like, weird shit that we have now with, like, some cool guy that, you know, blows up cars and smokes cigars. Like, it's weird, right? And so I think that, I mean, there's just so much more depth and value in Lord of the Rings. And I don't think that we're ever probably going to get another, like, we probably won't get another series like Lord of the Rings in like years and years and years, right? I mean, it's so rare to have something like that come out that's that amazing. Never? I mean, who knows about never, right? But I know that for a lot of us, you know, a lot of people here are about the same age, right? And like we grew up watching Lord of the Rings, right? That was like our movie, or at least for a lot of people, including myself. So yeah, I mean, I think that for us, it'd probably never be the same. Dune. Yeah, maybe Dune. Yeah. Like this is one thing that this trailer has a lot more of is like, there's like a level of like depth to it, right? Like mental, like thinking depth, like rather than like Rings of Power that feels like it's very, it feels much more surface level to me, and it feels more generic. I think that's probably the reason why people have like that more generic perspective with like Rings of Power, is because it just feels like a, you know, just traditional fantasy show, right? That's it, a fantasy series. There's nothing that's like unique or special about it.